Growing up, my parents always said I was their little princess.
We spoiled Alicia. She had the nicest clothes, just going places, doing things.
I was spoiled. My parents did give me a lot of gifts. This dress cost about $3,800 to make. I absolutely loved participating in beauty pageants.
Alicia!
I felt like a princess.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate Alicia Guastaferro.
I feel Alicia was very privileged and could get a lot of things that other people couldn't get.
I did win a lot of pageants. This is one of my favorite crowns. I won the Ultimate Superstar Grand Supreme. Many crowns, medals, and banners, and trophies. When I was taking dance classes, my dance teacher approached the class one day saying, "Do any of you want to maybe be on a reality show called Wife Swap?" Before I knew it, the people from Wife Swap called us, and when they finally accepted us to be on Wife Swap, why not? You know, it sounded fun. On the show, people made me out to be this bratty, spoiled, stupid, dumb blonde, which I am nothing of the sort.
The show said we have a tree up to give Alicia Christmas every day. That's not true.
Yes, I have a Christmas tree up every day, but it's in memory of my grandmother. After she passed away, I couldn't take down the Christmas tree. On the show, they went to the point of actually giving me a little gift, wrapping it up and putting it under the tree and having me open it and saying, "Oh, look, Mama, what did I get today for Christmas?" And obviously at the time I was 15 years old, I thought, oh my God, this is Hollywood, this is awesome. Maybe I'll be a movie star. After the show aired, the next day, I was the most hated person. It literally changed my life overnight. People were sending me hate mail, stalker letters, cherry bombs in my mailbox. It went as far as actually hate crimes. I went through living hell. It just still continues. The hate and what people think of me. I'm a real person. You cut me, I bleed, and words can really hurt. Being on a reality show was the worst mistake of my life. When I first met Jimmy, I was 19 years old. He was in his 50s. He made me feel like a little princess. 2 weeks before my 21st birthday, he said, "Let's celebrate your birthday just a little bit earlier." I go, "Jimmy, I'm not 21 yet." We went to this Italian restaurant. I had 3 pomegranate martinis. After dinner, he said, "Let's go to a bar." At the bar, I had a shot of whiskey and 2 pomegranate martinis. I take prescription medication. The use of alcohol amplifies the medication extremely. After the bar, I said, "Jimmy, I gotta go home. I am drunk. Let's go home." As we were driving, I was blacked out drunk. I heard horns. I opened my eyes. I saw 2 semis coming right at me. I'm thinking, this must be a bad dream. I shut my eyes. I felt the swerve in the road. I opened my eyes. We were at a rest area. I shut my eyes and was blacked out drunk again. I woke up to the state troopers pounding at my door. I looked to my left. Jimmy is passed out on the steering wheel. I was in a daze. I'm thinking, this can't be happening right now. That night, I was charged with being a prostitute, criminal impersonation, and having controlled substances. Apparently, the state troopers, seeing I was at a rest area, thought I was a prostitute. I was charged with criminal impersonation due to the fact that I had a fake ID. I was charged with the possession of controlled substances because that night, my mother actually put my prescription medication in a little pink mint container. I was charged for having close to 12 different substances in my purse. The night I got arrested was a nightmare. My parents are felons. They have a lot of problems with the law. In May 2009, my house was bombarded by FBI agents and Homeland Security. They completely raided the house. My dad was charged with money laundering. Before he left for jail, he told me, no matter what it takes, support the family. My mother was on house arrest. I had to step up a notch, providing food on the table and making sure all the bills were paid. And I started to be an exotic dancer because the money was better. My parents actually drove me there to make sure I'd be on time for work. My parents supported me 1,000%.
Let me ask y'all something. Thank you for being here. I have two goals here.
Okay.
One is you want to get your side of the story out so people
Correct.
understand that you're a human being with feelings and a side of the story, and I said I want you to get that story out. And the other is, if you're doing things that I think as an individual or a family are getting in your way of getting on a healthy track now or in the future, I want to tell you what they are. You don't have to agree with them, but I'll tell you so you can decide whether you want to do them or not. Which is why I'm glad parent is here, mom is here. Do you think you have ownership in some of the problems that she's had and is having in her life?
I definitely feel I have a lot of influence of what happened to her.
Not that you would intend it, I don't
No,
mean
not at
that,
all.
of course, but do you think you've contributed to her problems?
Yes, I do, because with my husband and myself having legal problems, it really put a strain on her.
And
Just everything else.
you detest the word stripper,
Yes.
but you prefer exotic dancer
Yes.
and gentleman's club instead of strip club,
Yes.
which is fine with me. But you were dancing at a gentleman's club
Yes.
as an exotic dancer. What age did you start doing that?
I started bartending at 18. I started dancing at 19 years old.
Okay. Were you okay with that?
Well, at first I thought she was bartending, and she was bringing home all this money. I go, wow,
Must be a
Really
really
nice.
good,
Yeah,
pouring
really.
some really good drinks.
I get some really good tips.
Yeah. But you couldn't have believed that very long.
Not really.
And once you found out that she was not bartending, but in fact disrobing in front of a room full of drunken men, how did you feel about it?
I felt, is it a safe environment? And I knew
I'm sorry?
I didn't think it was that safe of an environment. At first, I thought, what type of people hang out there? But she assured me that, they always have security and they're protected. And some people are nice, some aren't. And she was bringing a lot of money home. And I drive her there to make sure that she'd arrive safely and pick her up.
I am on so much medication, it is like a living pharmacy. This one is to keep me stabilized so I don't panic. This one is to keep me focused for my ADHD. This one is to keep me from having seizures. This is for pain. This is so you're emotionless. This one keeps me happy, to relax my muscles, to have me sleep at night.
Under the influence of drugs and alcohol, Alicia's made a lot of poor decisions.
Every day, it's just more and more meds, and after a while, they don't even do anything. It's sad. Another pill, another day, another problem.
Yeah, 50 times you've had
The
to go
past
in.
2 years, over 50 times, yes.
Yeah, that is a list from hell to be taking. So that has to be dealt with. Let me ask you something. You said that at one point you paid a $15,000 bribe for her to win a beauty pageant.
Yes.
Why? What was your thinking in doing that?
Well, Alicia liked beauty pageants so much, and we've seen the same kids winning and winning. It's like, what director brought the most kids to the pageant, what hair and makeup person, or what coach would bring the most kids. And we kept saying, it's gotta be fixed. So I contacted one of the directors, and I gave him $15,000. He gave some hair and makeup with it, and some costume designs for it, and also a win. And for years later, it took before she even found out.
And how did you feel about that when you found out about it?
At first, I didn't know, and then when finally my parents approached me and told me the truth, $15,000, I was numb, I was shocked, but it didn't actually surprise me in a way. That's the sad part.
Were you spoiled before you
I
went on
was.
the TV show?
I was,
You were spoiled.
correct.
And but then you got bullied really bad afterwards.
A living nightmare is not even the word. What I went through was living hell.
Why did you go on that show? Why did you decide to go on that show?
Well, when she was at her dance class, ABC approached the dancing school. They wanted some kids to do a lot of activities. And so they announced at one of the meetings, anybody want to go on the show? I never even seen the show before. And we said, we'll give them our name. Alicia does a lot of activities, tap, jazz, ballet, gymnastics, singing, dancing, piano, you name it, and she did it. And they came down and filmed us one day and said, we want us on the show.
I understand how it happened.
So it was
I said,
basically,
why?
we thought it would be something like a Hannah Montana, Disney. How bad could it be? Little did we know, we were shown in a really bad light.
When I filmed the show, I was a child. I thought Hollywood, oh my God. So whatever the producers said to me, I agreed. I did it how they wanted me to do it. I was acting for them, and I thought, hey, this might be my big break.
Yeah.
I was a child.
Yeah. So I told you I was going to ask you if you felt like you said what you wanted to say? You feel like you've said what you wanted to say?
I just want people to give me a second chance. I'm a real person. There has to be a light at the end of the tunnel. I just want people to see that and realize I'm a sweetheart. I really am. I never, ever degrade anyone, no matter what they did or are, because I was that person who was degraded and belittled and hurt so badly. No one should have to go through that in life, ever.
There's a point at which you got to stop blaming some reality show. You got to stop blaming some 54-year-old guy. You got to stop blaming whoever or whatever, and you got to say, you know what? I got to start making some smarter choices in my life. And as you said, you were 15 when some of this stuff started. You are 21 now.
Yes.
And so you've got to start making some choices. You know what would make people give you a second chance? When you can look them in the eye and say, you are looking at what may have been the dumbest kid to come down the street. I have made some dumb choices. I agree with that. And I have learned from that. I now take accountability for myself. I now own my decisions. I now wake up every day as an accountable adult, and I will begin to make some smart choices in my life. And that's what you have to do. I don't apologize. I don't blame. Whatever happened, happened. That was then, this is now. And today, I'm going to start making smart decisions in my life. And you may need help in doing that. First off, these medicines worry me no end. Let me tell you what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to get you with a proper, skilled psychoneurologist a psychiatrist neurologist that will evaluate you in terms of your hormones, your blood, and your brain to find out what in the world is going on with all of these meds, because I suspect you probably need none of them.
I would love that.
Okay, I suspect you probably need none of them. But I don't want you to quit any of them without medical supervision. That would be irresponsible. You probably need to be titrated off some, if not all of these things, under medical supervision so you don't have withdrawal.
Exactly.
And when we take those away, then we need to give you some tools to replace those things with, to handle anxiety, to handle some of the panic, all of the things that are going on with you, and give you some of those skills. And I will make those arrangements starting immediately, even today if possible, to get that done so you can get rid of that stuff, get some coping skills for your anxiety, and begin to make a plan for moving forward in your life. You are an intelligent, articulate, attractive young woman. You do not need that. You need to start making decisions, and you are way better than walking in a room and taking your clothes off for money. You need to stop doing that and start using your brain to do something with your life. Okay.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.